Imagine this. A slick businessman in a tailored suit, sweating bullets, slides a suitcase stuffed with $10 million across a dimly lit table. His target? Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso's no-nonsense leader, who's got a knack for sniffing out corruption like a bloodhound. "Take the cash. Make things easy," the guy whispers, thinking he's got Traore in his pocket. But what happens next? Oh, it's not just a no thanks. It's a full-on mic drop moment that leaves the briber red-faced and the internet exploding. How did Traore turn this shady deal into a legendary roast? Grab your popcorn because this story's about to go off. The bribe that started it. Oh, this isn't just any bribe attempt. It's the kind of high-stakes drama that could only happen in a place like Burkina Faso, where power plays and betrayal are part of the daily grind. So, how did this whole mess kick off? The shady suitcase guy, meet our villain. Let's call him Mr. X, a smooth-talking businessman with a grin like a used car salesman and a reputation for fixing problems with cash. Word on the street is Mr. X was hired by some big shots. Nobody knows who, but the rumors say they're folks who don't like Traore's anti-corruption vibe. One night, under the cover of darkness, Mr. X sets up a secret meeting in a swanky Ouagadougou hotel. He's got a black suitcase, the kind you see in spy movies, packed with crisp $100 bills. His plan? Bribe Traore to loosen his grip on some juicy government contracts. Simple, right? Oh, buddy, you're in for a rude awakening. The pitch goes down. Mr. X is all confidence as he meets Traore's right-hand man, a stone-faced colonel named Kofi. The deal's straightforward. $10 million for Traore to play ball. Maybe let a few shady deals slide. Mr. X leans in, smirking, and says, "This could set you all up for life. Mansions, private jets, the works." Kofi doesn't blink, just stares at Mr. X like he's a bug under a microscope. The room's so quiet you can hear Mr. X's Rolex ticking. Kofi takes the suitcase, pops it open, and there it is. Stacks of cash, glittering like a pirate's treasure. But instead of a nod, Kofi radios someone. Uh-oh. Mr. X's smirk starts to wobble. Traore enters the scene. Enter Ibrahim Traore himself, striding in like he owns the place, which, let's be real, he kinda does. He's not in his usual military gear. Tonight, he's rocking a sharp suit, but his eyes are pure steel. Mr. X tries to play it cool, stammering about mutual benefits and opportunities. Traore cuts him off with a single raised hand. "You thought you could buy me," he says, his voice low but sharp enough to cut glass. The room feels like it's shrinking, and Mr. X is suddenly very interested in his shoelaces. This is where things start to unravel for our wannabe briber, and trust me, it's about to get juicy. Why this was a terrible idea. Here's the thing. Traore's got a reputation for being untouchable. The guy's dodged coup attempts, stared down critics, and built a loyal crew that'd rather eat dirt than betray him. Mr. X clearly didn't do his homework because trying to bribe Traore is like trying to bribe a lion with a steak. He's not just gonna say no, he's gonna make you regret it. The stage is set for a showdown, and Traore's about to turn this bribe attempt into a spectacle nobody'll forget. This is just the beginning, folks. Mr. X is in way over his head, and Traore's got a plan to make sure this bribe attempt goes viral, in the worst way possible for our shady friend. Stay tuned for the next part because it's about to get savage. Main Content 2, The Trap Springs, Traore's Master Play. Alright, let's crank up the heat. Mr. X, our sleazy businessman, is in deep now, thinking he's about to seal the deal with his $10 million bribe. But Ibrahim Traore's not just shutting this down, he's turning it into a show that'll have jaws dropping across Burkina Faso. This is where the story gets spicy, and Traore shows why you don't mess with a guy who's got loyalty, brains, and a knack for epic comebacks. This room turns into a stage, so there's Mr. X, sweating through his fancy suit, as Traore looms over him like a storm cloud. The suitcase of cash is still open, practically glowing under the hotel room's chandelier. Mr. X is babbling, trying to sweet-talk his way out, but Traore's not here for it. Unbeknownst to our bribe-happy pal, Kofi, the colonel didn't just radio for backup, he hit record. Hidden cameras, tucked in the corners of the room, are catching every second of this disaster. Traore's team had sniffed out Mr. X's plan days ago, and they've been playing him like a cheap fiddle. This isn't a meeting anymore, it's a trap, and Mr. X just walked right into it. Traore's ice-cold takedown. Traore leans back, crosses his arms, and hits Mr. X with a line that's pure gold. "You thought I'd sell my country for your dirty money? Brother, you're not even in my league." The room erupts. Kofi and the other guards can't hide their smirks. Mr. X tries to backpedal, mumbling about misunderstandings, but Traore's on a roll. He starts listing off every shady move Mr. X has made leading up to this meeting. Secret phone calls, coded emails, even the private jet he flew in on. How'd Traore know all this? Let's just say his intelligence team is sharper than a machete. Mr. X's face goes from red to ghost white. He's not just caught, he's cooked. The publicity plot, here's where Traore takes it to another level. Instead of quietly kicking Mr. X out or locking him up, he decides to make an example. He tells Kofi to prep the footage and calls in a trusted aide to set up a press conference. That's right. Traore's not keeping this hush-hush. He's about to drag Mr. X's bribe attempt into the spotlight for the whole world to see. The guards haul the suitcase of cash to a secure spot, and Mr. X is invited to stick around. By invited, I mean he's got 2 burly soldiers making sure he doesn't bolt. The poor guy's realizing he's not just losing his money, he's about to lose his dignity. Why this hits so hard? This move is classic Traore. He's not just saying no to corruption, he's turning it into a teachable moment. Burkina Faso's been burned by greedy officials and foreign meddlers for years, and Traore knows his people are fed up. By exposing Mr. X, he's sending a message. Nobody buys this country, and nobody buys me. Plus, let's be real, Traore's got a flair for the dramatic. He could have handled this behind closed doors, but where's the fun in that? He's about to make Mr. X the poster child for "Don't try this at home." The stage is set for an epic public showdown, and Mr. X is about to wish he'd never stepped foot in Ouagadougou. Traore's got the cameras ready, the press on speed dial, and a speech that's going to light up the internet. Hang tight, because the next part's where this bribe attempt goes from bad to viral. Main content, Sartre 3, the press conference that broke the internet. The hotel room drama was just the warm-up. Now, Ibrahim Traore is ready to take this bribe fiasco public, and he's not holding back. Mr. X, our wannabe dealmaker, is about to learn what happens when you cross a leader who loves a good spectacle as much as he hates corruption. This press conference is where the story goes from juicy to straight-up legendary. The stage is set. It's the next morning, and Ouagadougou's buzzing. Traore's team has called every major news outlet in Burkina Faso, plus a few international ones. The venue? A packed government hall with flags flying and cameras flashing. In the center of it all is a table displaying the infamous suitcase, still stuffed with $10 million, now guarded by stone-faced soldiers. Mr. X is there too, sitting off to the side looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. His fancy suit's wrinkled, his tie's loose, and he's got the vibe of a kid caught stealing cookies. Traore, meanwhile, strides in like a rock star, cool as ice, ready to drop a bombshell. Traore drops the mic. Traore steps up to the podium and lays it all out. "This man," he says, pointing at Mr. X, "thought he could buy Burkina Faso's future with a suitcase of cash." The crowd gasps. He plays the hidden camera footage on a massive screen. Mr. X's sweaty pitch, his smarmy grin, the whole cringeworthy deal. The room erupts in boos as Mr. X sinks lower in his chair. Traore doesn't stop there. He breaks down the bribe, $10 million to let shady contracts slide, to betray the people, to sell out the nation. This, he says, slamming the suitcase shut, is what our enemies think we're worth. But they're wrong. The crowd roars, and social media is already lighting up with clips of the speech. The crowd goes wild. The energy in the room is electric. Journalists are scribbling furiously, bloggers are live tweeting, and the audience is chanting Traore's name. He's not just exposing Mr. X, he's turning this into a rally for Burkina Faso's pride. He talks about the country's struggles, the years of exploitation, and how this bribe is just another attempt to keep them down. "We're not for sale," he declares, and the crowd loses it. Mr. X tries to shrink into his seat, but there's no escaping the spotlight. The footage of his bumbling bribe attempt is already trending, with memes popping up faster than you can say bad idea. The genius of the move. This press conference isn't just about shaming Mr. X, it's a power play. Traore's showing his people he's untouchable, rallying them against corruption, and warning anyone else who's thinking about trying something similar. He's also playing to the global stage, knowing this story will hit international headlines. By putting the cash on display, he's making it real, tangible, undeniable. And by keeping Mr. X front and center, he's ensuring the world knows exactly who tried to play dirty. It's a masterclass in turning a scandal into a victory, and Traore's eating it up. Mr. X's humiliation is complete, but Traore's not done yet. The fallout from this press conference is about to shake things up even more, and the consequences are going to hit like a freight train. The story's far from over, and the next twist is a doozy. The hotel room sting was just the appetizer. Now, Ibrahim Traore's taking this bribe attempt to the big stage, ready to serve Mr. X a steaming plate of public humiliation. Our slick-talking businessman is about to find out what happens when you try to buy a leader who'd rather burn a bribe than bank it. This press conference is where the saga goes from spicy to straight-up viral. The setup steals the show. It's high noon in Ouagadougou, and the city's on fire with anticipation. Traore's team has packed a government auditorium with reporters, influencers, and a hyped-up crowd. Center stage, under blazing lights, sits the infamous suitcase. It's $10 million in crisp bills, practically winking at the cameras. Flanked by grim-faced guards, it's the star of the show. Well, almost. Mr. X is slumped in a chair nearby, his once sharp suit looking like he slept in it, his eyes darting for an exit that doesn't exist. Then Traore walks in, all swagger and steel, and the room explodes with cheers. Game on. Traore unleashes the receipts. Traore grabs the mic and gets right to it. "This man," he says, jabbing a finger at Mr. X, "thought he could buy our country's soul for a few dollars?" The crowd hisses. He cues up the hidden camera footage and boom, there's Mr. X on a giant screen, stammering through his bribe pitch like a bad actor. The audience eats it up, jeering as Mr. X's face flashes from smug to panicked. Traore lays out the deal. $10 million to let shady deals slide, to betray Burkina Faso's people. "He thought we'd bow," Traore says, his voice like a blade. "But we don't kneel." The room's shaking with applause, and Twitter's already blowing up with Jacques Traore takedown. The crowd feeds the frenzy. The vibe's pure chaos in the best way. Reporters are typing so fast their keyboards might catch fire, while bloggers stream the whole thing live. The crowd's chanting Burkina and waving flags, feeding off Traore's energy. He leans into it, painting Mr. X as a symbol of everything they're fighting against. Greed, corruption, outsiders trying to call the shots. "This money," he says, smacking the suitcase, "is an insult to our pride." Someone in the back yells, "Burn it!" and the crowd roars. Mr. X looks like he's praying for a trap door. Memes of his sweaty face are already flooding Instagram, captioned with gems like, "When you try to bribe the wrong guy." The power of the play. This isn't just a roast, it's a flex. Traore's turning a sleazy bribe into a rallying cry, showing his people he's got their back and warning any other chancers to think twice. By blasting the footage and parading the cash, he's making the scandal impossible to ignore, both at home and abroad. It's a slap in the face to anyone who thought Burkina Faso was up for grabs. Plus, let's be honest, Traore's loving the drama. He could have handled this quietly, but this is how you make a statement. The press conference has Mr. X down for the count, but the story's about to get even wilder. Traore's got one more trick up his sleeve, and it's going to send shockwaves far beyond Ouagadougou. The fallout's coming, and it's going to hit hard. The fallout. Mr. X's world crumbles. The press conference was a knockout punch, but Ibrahim Traore's not done swinging. With Mr. X's bribe attempt plastered across every screen in Burkina Faso and beyond, the fallout hits like a tsunami. Our shady businessman's life is unraveling faster than a cheap suit, and Traore's making sure the whole world knows what happens when you try to play dirty in his backyard. This chapter's all about consequences, chaos, and a leader who knows how to twist the knife. Mr. X's public meltdown. After the press conference, Mr. X is a walking disaster. The footage of his bumbling bribe pitch is looping on TV, racking up millions of views online. Hashtags like the bribe fail and or suitcase clown are trending worldwide, with TikTok edits turning his sweaty stammering into dance remixes. His name, or at least the alias he used, is Mud. Reporters dig up his shady past, sketchy deals in neighboring countries, rumors of ties to foreign investors, and a string of failed get-rich-quick schemes. His phone's blowing up with angry clients cutting ties, and his fancy villas swarmed by paparazzi. Mr. X tries to release a statement claiming he was misunderstood, but the internet just laughs harder. He's not a mastermind anymore. He's a meme. Traore turns the cash into a symbol. While Mr. X drowns in disgrace, Traore's playing chess with that $10 million. Instead of pocketing it or locking it away, he announces it's going straight to Burkina Faso's people. In a televised speech, he reveals plans to funnel the money into schools, clinics, and clean water projects in the country's poorest regions. "This was meant to betray you," he tells the nation, pointing to the suitcase. "Now it'll build your future." The move's a PR slam dunk. Crowds cheer in the streets, and social media's flooded with heart eyes emojis for Traore. He even names a new school Integrity Academy, a not-so-subtle jab at Mr. X. The guy's bribe didn't just fail, it's funding Traore's legacy. There's a ripple effect. The scandal's shockwaves go way beyond Burkina Faso. International news outlets are eating it up, with headlines like "African Leader Humiliates Bribe-Pushing Tycoon." Traore's anti-corruption cred skyrockets, earning him shout-outs from activists across the continent. But it's not all roses. Some shadowy players aren't happy. Whispers suggest Mr. X was a front for bigger fish, maybe corporate bigwigs or even foreign governments who wanted Traore to play ball. They're fuming, but Traore's untouchable, backed by a loyal military and a fired-up public. Posts on X hint at nervous execs shredding documents, worried their names might surface next. The bribes backfired so hard it's shaking boardrooms thousands of miles away. Traore's next move. Traore's not just basking in the glow, he's tightening the screws. He launches a nationwide anti-corruption campaign with billboards and radio ads blasting the slogan, "No price on our pride." He also greenlights investigations into other shady deals, hinting that Mr. X wasn't the only one trying to pull strings. The message is clear. Burkina Faso's not for sale, and Traore's watching. For the people, it's a rallying cry. For anyone else thinking about a bribe, it's a warning shot. Mr. X's downfall is just the start, and Traore's playing for keeps. The stage is set for the grand finale, where Traore seals this saga with a move so bold it'll echo for years. Mr. X's life is in tatters, but the real climax is coming, and it's going to be a showstopper. Main content 5. The Grand Statement. Traore's victory lap. With Mr. X's reputation in ashes and the $10 million bribe turned into a beacon of hope, Ibrahim Traore's ready to cap this saga with a move that cements his legend. This isn't just about winning, it's about rewriting the rules and showing the world what Burkina Faso stands for. The final act is bold, brilliant, and pure Traore, leaving no doubt who's calling the shots. The National Address. A week after the press conference, Traore calls for a massive public gathering in Ouagadougou's biggest square. Thousands pack the streets, waving flags, singing, and chanting his name. Giant screens are set up to broadcast the event live across the nation. Traore steps onto a stage draped in Burkina Faso's colors, the infamous suitcase nowhere in sight. It's already been converted into funds for the people. He's in his military uniform now, red beret tilted just right, radiating the kind of confidence that makes you believe he could stare down a tank. Today, he declares, we bury the past and build the future. The crowd roars, and the internet's already buzzing. The ultimate power move Traore doesn't just talk, he delivers. He unveils a new People's Pact, a public vow that every cent of government money will be tracked, every deal transparent, and every traitor exposed. To prove it, he live-streams the first transfer of the bribe money into public projects, with real-time updates on a new government app. A hospital in the north, funded, a school in the south, breaking ground. The crowd's eating it up, phones out, filming every word. Then comes the kicker. He invites citizens to report corruption directly to a new hotline promising swift action. It's not just a policy, it's a revolution, and Traore's daring anyone to test him again. Mr. X's final fade. Meanwhile, Mr. X is a ghost. After the press conference, he tried to flee the country, but Traore's team wasn't playing. He's facing charges now, stuck in a low-key detention center while investigators unravel his web of deals. Posts on X say he's begging for a plea deal, offering to snitch on his backers. But nobody's biting. His old allies have ditched him. His bank accounts are frozen and his name's a punchline. One viral tweet sums it up. Tried to bribe Traore, ended up broke and sorry. Classic. His downfall's complete. A cautionary tale for every wannabe schemer out there. The legacy takes shape. This whole saga's bigger than one bribe or one man. Traore's turned a sleazy plot into a movement, galvanizing Burkina Faso's youth and sending a message to the world. This country's got a new playbook. International leaders are taking notes, some praising his guts, others nervous about their own shady deals. At home, Traore's approval ratings are through the roof, with street vendors selling no bribes t-shirts and kids reenacting the press conference in school plays. The suitcase, once a symbol of betrayal, is now a badge of defiance, etched into the nation's psyche. Traore's not slowing down. As the crowd chants his name, he promises more reforms, more accountability, and no mercy for corruption. The saga's over, but its impact is just beginning. Mr. X gambled and lost, while Traore's playing a long game and winning. This is how you turn a bribe into a battle cry, and it's a story nobody's forgetting anytime soon. Climax, the moment that defined a nation. The stage is set, the crowd's electric, and Ibrahim Traore's about to drop the hammer in a way that'll echo far beyond Burkina Faso. Mr. X's bribe attempt has been exposed, his reputation shredded, and the $10 million turned into a symbol of defiance. But Traore's not content with just winning. He's about to deliver a final earth-shaking move that transforms this scandal into a defining moment for his country. This is the peak, the jaw-dropping crescendo where Traore's genius and grit collide. The square erupts. It's dusk in Ouagadougou, and the city's main square is a sea of people, tens of thousands strong, spilling into the streets, their voices a deafening roar. Flags wave, drums pound, and the air crackles with anticipation. Giant screens flicker to life, beaming Traore's face to every corner of the nation. He steps onto the stage, not just a leader but a symbol. his red beret glowing under the spotlights. Behind him, a massive banner reads, "Our future not for sale." The crowd's chants shake the ground, but Traore raises a hand and silence falls. This is it, the moment everyone's been waiting for. The speech that shatters. Traore's voice booms, steady but fierce. "They sent a man with money to break us," he says, pausing as the crowd hisses at the memory of Mr. X. "But they forgot who we are." He reveals the masterstroke. The bribe money, every last dollar, is already fueling projects across Burkina Faso, hospitals, schools, roads. But that's just the start. He announces the Burkina Shield, a new anti-corruption task force with teeth, backed by law and armed with tech to track every government deal. Then, the bombshell. He's releasing a public database of every attempted bribe reported in the last year, anonymized but detailed, exposing the scale of corruption his enemies tried to hide. The crowd explodes, chanting, "Truth, truth," as screens flash with the database's homepage. Mr. X's last gasp. Cut to Mr. X, watching from a grim detention cell, his face crumpling as Traore's speech plays on a grainy TV. The database includes his bribe attempt, labeled Case 0, with a breakdown of his pitch and a clip of his sweaty face from the hidden footage. It's not just humiliation, it's annihilation. X's backers, unnamed but nervous, are now scrambling, knowing Traore's task force is coming for them. His dream of a quick payout has turned into a nightmare, his name forever tied to the moment Burkina Faso said, "No more." He slumps, defeated, as the guards outside mockingly hum the crowd's chants. The global shockwave. This isn't just a local win, it's a global earthquake. The speech trends instantly, with Juan, Burkina Shield, and a Traore legend dominating X. World leaders react. Some praise Traore's boldness, others squirm, worried their own dealings might face similar scrutiny. Activists from Nigeria to Zimbabwe hail him as a hero, while shady corporations rethink their African strategies. The database, accessible worldwide, becomes a blueprint for transparency, with tech experts calling it a game changer. Traore's turned a single bribe into a movement, proving one man's greed can spark a revolution. The significance hits hard. This is Burkina Faso drawing a line in the sand with Traore as its unyielding voice. The dust hasn't settled, but Traore's already looking ahead, his eyes on a future where his country stands tall. Mr. X's gamble lit the fuse, but this climax, Traore's defiant, dazzling stand, is the explosion that changes everything. Burkina Faso will never be the same, and neither will the world's view of it. What a ride! Ibrahim Traore took a slimy $10 million bribe attempt and turned it into a masterclass in defiance, exposing Mr. X, rallying his people, and launching a transparency revolution with the Burkina Shield. This saga's a reminder. Mess with Traore, and you'll get schooled. Hit that like button, subscribe for more epic stories, and drop a comment. What would you do if someone tried to bribe you? Let's keep the convo going.